You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network. You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
Welcome back to the Jimbo Trashy podcast. Check this out. There's this guy who invented this fucking goop.
James.
It's just called Soylent right now.
Trashy.
What's up?
We were talking about something else before the commercial break.
Vegas?
The taxi cab trip.
Okay,
Did you want to do this first?
Let me just say this real quick.
All right.
Because this we can't really go into too much, but we'll go back to the Vegas thing. Basically, this 24-year-old software engineer invented this fucking goop. It looks like horse cum or something. I'll bring the picture over here so you guys can see it.
I know what you're talking about. It is horse cum. That's the main ingredient.
You seen this?
It's the main ingredient.
This guy,
that's not that shit called man milk, is it?
He says eating food. What's up?
The camera is turning like...
Oh, no, isn't it? Let me take a look at it real quick.
You need to fix that there.
All
Need to
right,
fix that
camera,
there.
Camera. There we go. How far are you gonna go? Hey. There you go. Trashy.
Anyways, you guys can keep talking for a second if you want.
Oh, well, holler, fucking. That definitely looks like fucking what Steve-O drank on Jackass. That was horse cum.
That's fucking nasty.
Anyways.
It definitely looks like it.
Okay, so this guy invented this shit, and it has a bunch of has like all the nutrients you'd ever need in meals, excluding a couple from like vegetables or whatnot. But basically, his main gripe was that eating food was a waste of time. Because he's got a busy life and he's got shit to do. He don't have time to cook food and shit. So he made this he made this goop or whatever the fuck it's called. Or he calls it Soylent, which is kind of funny because there was a sci-fi film back in the day called Soylent Green, I believe. Or the name of the product in the movie was called Soylent Green. And what it was like wafers made out of human flesh. So this thing's called Soylent. It's, flesh colored and whatnot. And basically he's saying that he doesn't have to ever eat again. All you gotta do is drink one of these shakes or one of these fucking pitchers of goop.
Okay.
And
is it even made with soy or anything?
I don't know what it's made with. I mean, it's a combination of things, but I mean,
I've heard of people who do stuff like that and all like liquid shake diet.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I
used to work with this guy who used to drink that muscle milk shit.
Yeah.
This just
I
sounds
know
like
a lot of
fucking
people who
gay
do
crap.
that. I mean, I like the meal replacement shit. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, I like to go out and have a nice meal.
Yeah.
So
nothing can replace food.
There's like, I'm going to be real, and there's, addiction to food, whatever you want to say, people who freak out about it, but like, and people who have like their diets or whatever, right? And on this day's their cheat day, you know, like, I mean, I understand, because I'm gonna be real, dude. I don't care, dude. I'm never gonna live my life at a point where I'm not eating fucking burgers, my customized homemade burgers, my homemade pizza, you know, my homemade carnitas. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what I would do if I.
As long as you
couldn't eat
feel
my
good, man.
food.
It's
I
all
can't
good.
fucking. No, like, I love to cook, right? I live to cook, and what I actually, more so than even myself, I love to watch people eat my food and enjoy it.
Right.
Like, that makes me feel so good, dude, that, especially if they say, damn, this is bomb. Like, that makes me feel so fucking good. Like, and I just love meat, dude. I don't know. I'm a fucking carnivore to the
bet
fucking
you
end.
do love that meat.
I love
I love meat. I love it in my mouth.
I love it heavy. I love it.
Loves it.
I love it heavy. I love it thick. I love it fucking when it just fucking is juicy.
Juicy,
dude.
burst in your mouth.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
When
let's
you bite into it.
let's go back to that final shit we're gonna go into earlier. Vegas taxi cab story.
Right.
Taxi cab confession.
Doo-doo-doo. So yeah, anyways, fucking I left home when I was like 19, and I didn't talk to my mother for like 2 years.
Bad child.
And then and when I turned 21, you know, she was doing all these things to try to make me feel better, and like to like come back home, or like just even visit home, for because I wasn't going to Christmases, Thanksgivings. Anyway, so I turned 21, and I think my ex-girlfriend at the time would talk to her here and there, and she knew that we were planning a big Vegas trip for the 21 birthday. So my mom, Big Daddy knows, has the connections in Vegas, which means that she spends a lot of money when she goes to Vegas. And so she said, you know, like, for my 21st birthday, she would hook it up, and
Yep.
she actually got us 3 rooms at the Riviera, I think it was. And this is back when the Stardust was still there, across street from the Riviera. And so we just mobbed. It was a special Vegas trip because we mobbed deep.
Yeah, it was Radican was there, right?
Oh yeah, Radican was there. Trashy was there. Fucking Kimber was there. Big Red was there. Fucking Locust was there.
Yeah.
H-Bomb. The list goes on.
Yeah.
We basically had fucking the same amount of guys.
I was
as we had
already
girls.
there.
Yeah, Big Daddy lived there, and we had the same amount of guys as we had girls. And anyways, though, we had like just different groups. We were there. I don't even know how many days, like 3 or 4 days too. We were there for a while, from like Thursday to Sunday or something like that. And so this one night, we actually got into this sort of little group. It was me, it was Julia, it was James, it was H-Bomb, and was it Luke?
I think it was me, H-Bomb, you, Luke, you, or I already said you.
Julia.
Julia. I want to say there's one other person.
We were filled into this taxi cab to the
No, you're right. I
max.
think it was just us 5. I think it was just us 5.
So we were out drinking so fucking late, and it was already late, dude. It was a couple hours before sunrise. It had to be, and we were so fucking drunk already. And we got a taxi because we're on the other end of the strip. And if you know the Riviera, it's on the very fucking end of the other strip. So, anyways, we're like, take us to the Riviera, and this guy from the fucking get-go, this taxi cab driver, is like, oh no, I take you to the club. The club? You know, like, what are you talking about? Like, no, I take you to the club. What do you mean the club? The strip joint. You guys like naked girls, right?
Yeah.
I heard you talking about it, because I guess we must have been saying there was one chick in the car and all dudes, and we probably were saying something about fucking titties and ass, you know? And so I'm in the front seat with him, and I'm going, no. I was like, nah, man, dude. I was like, just take us back to our room. And he's like, no. I take you there. I take you. It'll be fine. You know, and I'm like, dude, we don't have money. We're not going to fucking go in there. So he goes, no, man, I get you in for free. And I was like, you get us in for free, and then we go in there, and we got to buy fucking 2 $15 drinks a
minimum
piece.
and shit.
Right? And he's like, no. I take care of you. I was like, nah, man, like, I'm not going to do it. He's like, listen, I'm going to get you in. You don't have to pay a cent. And I was like, how are you going to do that? You going to give us coupons? And he's like, hold on real quick. And all of a sudden he has like a walkie-talkie or something, right? Was it a phone? It doesn't matter.
It was weird. Either way, it was weird.
Right.
I'm telling you, we're all like looking at each other. Nobody even wanted to go. I think Luke was there for sure, because Luke was like down. You know,
Really,
Luke was
I would have
fucking,
pictured him
I
to
was
be
just
the
drunk
one
in
not
the-
to go.
no,
I was just
Luke-
drunk in the backseat, like, huh? What's going
Yeah.
on? Cool.
And fucking, so he calls him, and we hear him talking to this guy, and he's like, okay, we got 1 girl, and we got 5 guys, blah, blah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this and that. Oh, how much is this and that? Da, 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 da. And so he gets the price of it, and here's the price, and he like puts the walkie-talkie down, and he's like, okay, so I got it for you. I'm gonna get you guys in there. It's gonna cost you $200 or $250 or something, right? Something like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, man, I'm telling you, dude, if I walk into this motherfucking spot and they tell me I gotta buy a drink, I'm telling you, dude, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not buying it. I'm walking out with your money. And he's like, no, I take care of you. I throw in an extra $100, right? Or something like that for the drink. That I'll cover all your drinks. They don't make the girl buy a drink. She's okay. Da 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 da. And I'm like, no. I was like, you know what, really, man?
That shit's all a scam.
I was like, you know what, really, man? Like, just take me to my hotel. And then all of a sudden he goes, wait a second. And he goes into his pocket and he pulls out the biggest fucking wad of cash money. Right? And like, that's immediately when I just like, my head just goes, duh, and I see him and he starts counting out 20s. Da, 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 da.
You know, I got friends that would have just knocked his ass out and took his
Well,
fucking car.
well,
and his
so
money.
fucking, he goes, fucking, what was it? Was it like $350 or something? Or $250 or something?
It was ridiculous money.
Dude, I'm pretty sure it was $350, and he's counting it, and he goes, and I'm like, and I remember saying specifically, I was like, you're gonna give me cash? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you, no problems, man. You don't pay nothing, man. And if you're in there and your friends back there, they want to get a dance, you know, like then that's on them, you know, but no cash, you know. And I'm like, and I look back at all the guys in the back, and I go, we're going to the strip club, guys. And everyone's like, I remember Luke being like, yeah. So we pull up to this fucking strip club, right? James fucking, we're all drunk. James is drunk as fuck. I know he is. I'm drunk as hell. We get out of the car. We all have beers in our hands still, right? So we get into the fucking, we park. The guy already handed me the cash. I gave it, my ex-girlfriend at the time told him the cash. So we start walking in. We walk in through the first big set of doors, which you get into the club, and then you have to pass the guy who you pay. And then you're in the club, right? So we're all getting there, and you can't walk in with your drink in your hand, right? So
Yeah.
we're all sitting in like this hallway before you actually pass them, but we're inside, and we're chugging our beers. And I remember Luke just starts walking, and he walks straight up past the security guard guy or whatever, and he's like, oh, no, they got me back there. They're going to pay for me. And he immediately goes and he like sits down already at a table, and he's pulling out singles. And I remember fucking we're chugging our beers, and I'm trying to give this taxi cab enough time to get the fuck out of here, you know? Not too long, because he dropped us off. I'm making sure he gets out. And I remember we're drinking beers, and Luke starts already throwing like singles down. And I'm like, Luke, the fuck are you doing, man? Get the fuck over here. And he's like, what? And he like walks back over to us. I was all, bro, this guy just handed us $350 fucking dollars in fucking American money cash.
Right.
I was like, we're not going to the strip club? And he's like, what the fuck? Really?
We're going to a commercial break. That's where we're going. Be right back on the Jimbo
Everything
Trashy
is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
Heartbreak is a process. It begins as a tiny fracture that only the soul can see. It cracks and it splits from the trauma that the mind has endured until it is eventually shattered into dust fragments and blown away by the wind of oblivion. Yet the bittersweet memory remains in the air.
You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
What was the stupidest thing you ever heard or were told? Well, back in the early 90s, like I told you guys before, I've had a lot of cars, and I used to go out and buy all kinds of shit. Well, we were going to go, me and my buddy John, we went out to Downey, it was Downey or Lakewood or something, and we were going to buy this 68 Bug that this kid had chopped the roof off of. Now, it wasn't professional. I mean, it was literally like blow-torched off. But he only wanted like $250 for it, and he said it ran. So after a week of back and forth, missing phone calls with this guy and having him tell me to come and he's not there and blah, 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 we finally get down there on the weekend and go check it out. And the thing doesn't start. So we're like, what the hell, dude? You know, you said you had it running and all this stuff, and it wouldn't start. So I said, well, jump start it, okay? Me and my buddy John were about ready to jump start, and he goes, how are you going to do that? Bugs don't have batteries. I'm like, bugs don't have batteries? How the hell do you think the damn thing starts, dude? Seriously, like 5 times he must have said, bugs don't have batteries, man. I never found the battery in this car. I don't know it has a battery. They don't have batteries. And I'm like, dude, that's when me and my buddy John decided just to walk away. I was just going to get it to roll around and have like a beach cruiser, or just going to paint it all up with like graffiti or different colors or whatever. You know, that was my plan for it. Just run it until it went down to the ground. But I've never met somebody so dumb in my life. The guy didn't even know the car had a battery. He thought it actually didn't have a battery. So that's my story about the dumbest thing I was ever told.
You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
Welcome back to the Jimbo Trashy podcast.
Right, so what happens is fucking Locust, you motherfucker, get out of here, dude. We're not going to the strip club. We got cash in our hand, right? So he's baffled. He's pissed, actually. He wants to give his $100 up fucking to the strippers. Like, what? This guy just gave us money to go to the strip club. I was like, bro, like, that is our admission, dude. This amount of, how many guys and girls we had or whatever, the money he gave us wasn't gonna fucking get us free dances or anything. It was just gonna get us in.
Yep.
So we had him so I fucking finished chugging my beer and I'm like, get the fuck over here. So anyways, we walk out the door, right, all of us, and we look and there's no sign of the cab. Right there, he's not there. And I'm like, we're looking at each other, we're like, we're clear, dude. Like, hell yeah. So fucking where we're at, straight up where we got dropped off was a strip club, okay? And across the street from that was the back parking lot of the Stardust.
Okay.
Okay? And where the Stardust is, right across the street from the Riviera. Okay? So we're straight up, that's where we're staying, right? We just have to cross into the parking lot through the Stardust, across the street to the Riviera. So we start fucking, we get everyone up, hell yeah, we're counting our money out, or I don't know, maybe we're not counting it out, but we're walking across the street, and we start walking across the street from the strip club.
What you were saying to us was like, hey, no one's got to pay for their hotel room this weekend.
Right, oh dude,
I was like, hell yeah, dude.
we're coming up, right? So we start crossing the street from the strip club into the parking lot of the Stardust, and we're just walking. And the next thing, I swear to God, we're walking across the street, and we almost get like across the street total, and all of a sudden we just kind of hear, and there's only one. It's late as fucking night. We just hear
Razor Ramon got out of nowhere.
We hear fucking one straight fucking we hear the screech, and we see fucking, we look over to the right of us across the street, and all we see are fucking brake lights. Okay? And fucking, like, we kind of all look at each other like, no, you know, so we're still walking, looking at it, and all of a sudden, just fucking the brake lights, it just reverse lights turn on, and he starts gunning it in reverse, and I just go, he's coming! Split up!
Right.
And we all just start scattering through the parking lot of the Stardust, okay? And this motherfucker just is, I swear to God, on this fucking Vegas street in the back fucking areas, he's doing fucking 40 miles per hour reverse fucking with his pedal to the metal. And we're just fucking, we all just fucking split like fucking ants, like 2-2-2. And fucking, I'm with fucking James, fucking, I remember my ex-girlfriend being with H-Bomb. She was the one who had the money. I fucking felt like, because I was in the front seat and talking the whole time, that he thought I was the leader, so whatever. So I figured that he was going to go after me and, like, think so, right? So I was kind of like, yeah, fucking go with this fool. So me and James split. Me and James get into the parking lot, and fucking he gets into the parking lot now, too. So, like, there's, you know how the parking lots are or whatever. So he's going up the aisles, and fucking he's basically boning out straight towards the back entrance of this casino. like straight up, and me and James hang it to the right to go around to the right side of the casino. Luke fucking hooks left to go to the left side of the casino, and Jules and fucking Bomber go straight into fucking the casino. And there's like I don't even remember this being always there, but like there's straight up bouncers on the back door of the Stardust, like just straight up there at the back entrance. And I remember fucking booking it with James. I burned James so bad because James was in some kind of like boots or something like that.
I was wearing some heavy boots. And I remember like Mike's like, we gotta go. So we start fucking running, and I'm like keeping up with him, and then he's wearing like the fucking running shoes or some shit.
I'm just
So
wearing,
he books it, and he's like 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 car links ahead of me. I'm like, you know what, dude? I had no money on me. I had no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yep.
I was just in the back seat, dude. I got nothing to fucking. If this guy wants to come at me, I have nothing to fucking prove.
James straight up
I
fucking
just started
does that.
walking.
Yeah. He goes, fuck it, dude. And I remember I'm kind of like Forrest Gump running in fucking the movie when they start doing the bombing and he runs, you know? I kind of. Well, like, and that's not the Run Forrest Run scene, but yeah, straight up. And I kind of realized all of a sudden, I'm alone. I'm like, I slow down and I'm alone. And I turn back and I see James so fucking far away, right? And I'm like, and then I think about it and I'm like, shit. I was like, I don't know if I should have fucking left H-Bomb with my girlfriend because he's not quite the fucking knight in shining armor type that's going to save her, right? So I remember being like, god damn it, you know, like, well, we didn't plan these directions, you know, like
almost was random.
I was hoping that she and H-Bomb would come with me the way I ran, but they didn't. James is the only one, right? So then I realized, and James like doesn't give a fuck, and he's winded. He's like, I am not running anymore. And so I remember running back to James, and I fucking see him, and he's like, dude, fuck it, dude. I don't have anything, like, and I was all, dude, just fucking run fucking back to the place. I will see you at the hotel. I was like, I gotta go fucking find Jules. And fucking, so I remember running, and I get back to the point right when I fucking turn back and I start getting to the back doors. They're like getting to the point where they're running inside the doors where the bouncers are. This taxi cab driver did not throw his car into park. He fucking jumped out of the car with his car either in neutral or drive. It had to be in drive because the car was still rolling. It rolled up onto the curb and was heading towards the doors where the bouncers were. And fucking what happened was he caught up to H-Bomb and thought H-Bomb had the money. And Jules was right by him. And he fucking grabs H-Bomb by the arm. And he's like, hey, man, give me that fucking money back. That's my livelihood. And the bouncers immediately pounce on him and, like, push him off. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And fucking H-Bomb and fucking... And I'm running up at the same time. And I'm straight up... I was about to fucking just running Superman punch this guy in the face. Because I was hoping he didn't touch my girlfriend at the time, my ex-girlfriend. But I saw the bouncers immediately intervene. And I just fucking... Like, I'm looking at the car. And immediately they're like, hey, dude... Your car is about to run into this casino. I think this is the least of your worries.
Right.
And I immediately just tell them I grab fucking Bomber. Like, I kind of pull him out of the guy's hands and I grab the girl. And I fucking just put my arms, like, under both their arms. And I'm like, let's just go into the casino. And fucking the other bouncer kind of is, like, confused. He's like, what? Should I stop these? And I was all, this guy's fucking crazy, man. I don't know what he's doing, but he's really harassing us, man. And then, like, I didn't even stop and we just kept walking through this damn casino. And I don't even know what happened after that because fucking we just walk into the Stardust like it's
this
nothing.
This is a story that didn't stay in Vegas.
Here's from my perspective, right? So I'm running with Mike because I'm like, well, Mike knows the way to go because he's been here. Because Mike's telling me like, you know, we go here all the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow Mike, dude. So when we split up, I follow him. But like I said, he's got the running shoes on. I'm wearing fucking like knee-high combat boots or some shit. Not knee-high, but I'm wearing fucking boots.
Yeah.
I'm fucking just like wearing
You're
a
not
heavy
wearing
wallet
fucking
chain.
hooker shoes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just fucking like weighed down and shit.
No, if you guys were over by the Stardust too, you were on the bad side.
Yeah. Oh, we were. Like it was the ghetto fucking area.
The back side of the Stardust.
Yeah.
Was the
Like
bad
if
side
we were
of
just
town.
was.
if we were just jogging, I could have kept up with him. But he started full sprint. And I'm like, I am not full sprinting, dude. I'm drunk. I'm fucking on some other shit. I ain't fucking not gonna be fucking sprinting.
Right.
I have no money on me. I didn't fucking take anyone's goddamn money because I was the whole time I was in the back seat. I had no fucking idea what's going on. So
I was just
I was
there.
just anticipating if this guy comes up to me, dude, I'm gonna fucking knock him the fuck
Yeah.
up. So I remember after I quit running, I was just like walking in the parking lot and I saw his car like cruising around looking for somebody, you know. And then like I stopped in between some cars, and I think I saw like Hidalgo or something. And Hidalgo's like fucking flagging me on, like go shoot, go,
Hidalgo is H-bomb.
yeah, or sorry, yeah, H-bomb.
Well, that's who
Yeah.
I was referring to him
Yeah,
as.
so H-bomb is flagging me like go. So, I mean, I didn't know he got caught up with until the end of the story happened.
Yeah.
But I saw him like flagging me like go, dude, like he doesn't see you, go. But like, the whole time, like I said, I didn't give a fuck because like this was a little scrawny Arabic dude. But this guy was a nutcase, and who knows what he was. He could have pulled out a gun. Who knows?
Yeah.
But at the time, I was
I'm
so
sure
drunk.
he knows people.
At the same time, I was so drunk. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'll fucking take the gun out of his hand and shoot him with his own gun. Like that's how fucking drunk I was. I didn't give a fuck, So I was just walking to the parking lot like nothing's gonna happen. And I mean, luckily nothing did happen. But who knows? Could have been the wrong guy.
It could have been the wrong guy. You
I
never know.
basically-
That's the
yeah.
that's the problem with Vegas.
It was. And the way he chased us down, the way, like, I'm telling you, James ended up being on his own after I left him to go
Oh,
back.
the dude gave you $300 and he had somebody that actually sponsored that money for him.
Luke went on his own, and the only I came back because A, my girl had the money, B, that was my girl at the time, and like I said again, C, fucking Bomber was the one like protecting her at the time. So I felt like, oh god, I gotta get there. So anyways, we're going through the fucking casino. And this is all happening in the back. This guy's taxi's about to plow through the glass. I wasn't sure if, like, security was going to be like, hey, get back here, like, what are you guys doing? We're in trouble, So I remember just like, let's go. We got out to the front of the casino. And what happened is the taxi cab driver did get back in his car. And he knew we were staying at the Riviera. He fucking booked his ass around the corner on the strip, but once you get on that strip, you can't be like flipping bitches and turning anywhere you want. He was stuck in traffic. We saw him. And that's when, again, we get out of the Stardust and we see him. Boom. Oh my God, dude. We jaywalked across the strip, boned out across to the Riviera. And instead of running through the front doors, I'm like, no. We're booking it through the side, and we're going to the back entrance, and we're running, we're sprinting. We got $350 of this guy's cash, and I remember by the time we fucking all get up, we kind of all simultaneously get to our room. We're all took different elevators, different stairways, whatever. We're all getting back to our room, which is side by side, fucking where our rooms were at the same time, just like running, fucking out of breath. All 5 of us or 6 of us or whatever get there at the same time, like. Pull out the money. Yeah,
buddy.
We got it. Boom. And that was one of the craziest stories ever for us. Just in Vegas at all. And I think fucking Luke got like 50 of his dollars and threw it on black and doubled it right away. And, like we were sketching because I think maybe the next day or the day after we were leaving, it might have been another day, but we were sketching the whole time. Anytime we saw a taxi and anytime we saw a taxi like parked with a guy in it, we were like, oh, dude, I bet it's this
he
guy
got a
looking
boss
for
he had
us.
to answer to for doing that.
Yeah, I bet he's
money.
looking for us, like he's going to be looking. We got to be careful.
It'd be so funny if like we went to Vegas again and like he remembered our faces and shit. Like the same tale like Tom and Jerry all over again and shit.
Right.
See, luckily, well, back then when he turned 21, they didn't have cameras. Now they got cameras in the car, just like they got on the buses. So.
Oh yeah, they do, and that's what I'm saying too. Is they have a new they didn't have this back then either. They have a straight up taxi cab police force.
Yeah.
And in the end, what I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel like I stole this guy's money in any way. Like we
steal his money. Trust
we got
me,
a
you
free.
didn't steal his
Hey,
money.
we got a free taxi cab ride because I remember saying that too, and I was like, oh, do we got to pay you for the taxi too?
Right.
He's like, no, nope.
He tried to swindle us. We swindled him.
Right.
Exactly.
And
And
he
it
deserved
came down to the fact that he was doing something which
I'm sure he got
ended
his ass beat too.
which I ended up reading about and hearing about anyways, was illegal. He wasn't allowed to do what he did. So, like I said, I didn't feel bad. And the new taxi cab police form or thing that they have out there, I don't think that would have been applied to us. However, but in the end, I felt a little bad because he was screaming about how he had 11 kids or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. He probably got his ass beat. He had somebody to answer to for that money.
When I need money, dude, I got 20 kids.
Right.
How about that?
Right. But yeah, that police force is for people, because in Vegas it is kind of easy to fucking jump out of a cab and run anywhere you want, So they're there for people not paying their cab fees, So it's a little different. But anyways, yeah.
And they bust the cabbies for just pick. You're not supposed to just pick anybody up anymore. You're not allowed to just pick anybody up off the strip. You have to pick them up in front of a casino, in front of a business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're not allowed to curbside.
And I think we curbsided that guy. I think we did.
And that's another
I
thing.
think we
That's
picked
another
that
thing
for-
that the taxi cab cops do.
memory-
They're basically transit police.
Yeah.
My memory of that was so foggy. All I remember is just I was like sitting in the cab, just like, what? They're giving us money? Why is he giving us money? What the fuck?
Right.
And then just like all of a sudden, like, okay, Mike's got his money. We're not going to the strip club. Good, because I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And because we had some stuff to do at the fucking back of the room, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like the
And,
casinos. If you do it right, the casinos will give you money, but you got to play in their place.
Yeah.
You just got to know what you're doing. That's
Yeah.
what his mom does.
Yeah. It's true.
It was. I mean, I'll never forget that story, dude. That's a
Yeah.
fucking.
Oh,
That's like a
it
ride
was
or die
intense.
story right there,
It was
dude.
intense, yeah. And I don't know how well we just portrayed it for everybody, but one day we'll make a movie about certain
Right.
things we do, and you'll see that in a movie we
That has
do.
to be in a movie. That's
It will.
That's fucking.
It'll be in one of the things we do, whether it be a documentary about us.
The
or,
Hangover 3.
Well, that's coming out.
Yeah, I heard that actually.
That's actually funny because on the freeway, I remember it was closed down. I was driving on it, and Zach Galifianakis was filming a scene, and it must have been digitized, added in later. But I remember filming the scene. He was carrying like a trailer behind him, right? It was like a trailer, and he was driving a car or a truck or whatever, and they had the freeway shut down and blah, 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 blah. But in the movies, I've seen the previews now already, and it's the same scene. He's on the 405, and he's got a giraffe in it. In the trailer he got at Vegas somehow.
CGI.
And he's driving down the freeway, and they get to one of the
Like a
overpasses.
stuffed animal giraffe or a real giraffe?
Real giraffe. No, a real live giraffe he got somehow. We'll find out when we see the movie. But he gets to one of those like overpasses, where it's like the other freeways over you, and so he's driving and he's being all cool, and I guess he doesn't realize that he's got a giraffe in his trailer. And so the fucking thing decapitates the giraffe as he's driving by. And that's in the previews. But yeah, Hangover 3, fucking little plug for them.
Hey,
if they can
guys,
hook us
before
up.
we get out of here, one last story here. So a car flipped over on your way here to the studio tonight.
Yeah, we were about to make a
shit.
turn. We saw it upside down. There's probably about 10 cop cars out there, fire trucks and shit. But we saw it on its roof.
I think it was a fatality.
Possible.
Luckily, they were right in front of the hospital, though.
Yeah, they
I
were.
don't know. I don't know what he
South
was
Bay
doing.
Medical Center, yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you flip your car like that?
Yeah.
From where he wasn't even near the intersection, so we didn't really know what he was doing.
He was
how we could've-
coming, on Burl and Prospect, like we were coming down the actual big hill.
Yeah, and he was
know?
coming. It was
He
on
was
the
coming
other
down,
direction, in
which
front
is
of the
a
hospital.
way tinier hill. And it was mayhem there. We came down the hill, and the first thing I just see is red and blues, right?
that
And I'm
means
like,
turn.
oh my god, dude.
All right, guys, we got to cut this podcast short. I just want to say real quick, follow Street Rodder as STRT, Rodder 100 on YouTube, and subscribe to this podcast. That's the Global Psychosis channel.
Everything
See you next time.
is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Check out the latest sounds from the occult experimental rock project, Elvis on Acid, with their second album release, Prehistoric Psychonaut.
With historic obligations, we've come so far. We're cutting away the spiritual line. Constellation, they don't care who you are. They're damning us to hell. It's written in the stars.
Follow Elvis on Acid on Twitter @Elvis on Acid. Go to youtube.com/Elvis on Acid to hear the latest. Global Psychosis Entertainment, Dark Jam Records, and Elvis on Acid are not responsible for any violent revolutions, drug overdoses, or attempted suicides that may occur after listening.
Loyalty to the royalty. The fallen angels sing divine by the kings.
This ad has been brought to you by Global Psychosis Entertainment and Dark Jam Records. Copyright 2013.